On the phone, we've got the lovely and intelligent Meghan McCain. Good morning, Meghan. How are you?
Oh my gosh, Big J, you're my new favorite radio
I love
host
it.
now calling me that.
Yes.
I'm good. How are you?
And your dad's been in this studio where I'm doing my show. He's been up here. We've interviewed him live in person before up here, so we're like all connected.
Why did you interview him?
He came up here to help stump for our old GOP senator who got beat. Congressman, yeah, that's what it was, congressman. But
he was running for Senate against
something. But he was up here stumping for a guy that got beat. But he, last minute kind of like, oh, let's get this guy going. But it was an honor. It was awesome to have him up here. So
was he cool?
Yeah,
when you interviewed him?
He was way cool. He pretended to know me and stuff. He did that politician thing where he's like, Big J, my man, how are you?
My old friend Big J. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, exactly. He was fantastic. Well, obviously we know John McCain. He's very, very well known for good reason. But now a lot of people know Meghan McCain from correspondent type stuff and interviews here and there. But now we got Raising McCain coming to TV. So it's kind of a departure from the norm for you. Tell people a little bit about the show.
Yeah, it's a talk show, and I was really inspired by kind of the stuff that I grew up on MTV News, and the channel I'm working for, Pivot, which is a brand new channel that launched. We just had this idea to do something that was more substantive than some of the stuff that young people are being given entertainment-wise. It's not super heavy or super serious or anything like that, but it is more serious than, say, the Jersey Shore. And I don't know, I had a really good time doing it. It tackles really serious issues, but I think we do it in a fun way, and it's filmed really weird, and so far I'm getting really great response, and I'm really happy with it.
I like that the description. It's filmed really weird.
It does. We film it kind of like a documentary or reality show, and my entire crew and all the producers are on camera. And again, it's just the idea that people are so aware of the fourth wall and where cameras are, and the fact that people are making television shows right now. And I just thought it would be more interesting to include the audience in on the joke and watch it being produced and being made. And I don't know, my sound guy plays like a huge role on the show, and that just because he was like really funny and had really funny jokes all the time. So
that's cool.
I don't know, it's weird, but I'm really proud of it.
I love it. Is this week's episode, is this the one on relationships?
The one this week, the one last week was on dating, and if technology has killed romance and dating, which is something that's very close to my heart. And the one this week is on coming out in America and sort of like young millennials coming out and how you deal when it came based out of my life when I support gay marriage, but my father doesn't, and how like your two worlds can conflict, and how you deal with the world you come from sort of conflicting with the world you live in.
Yeah,
so,
that is. I mean,
Wilson Cruz is my co-host, and he's such a sweet, funny guy.
That's awesome. That is a great question. I mean, because you are for gay marriage and stuff, but you're also conservative-ish. And does that come up with your dad? Does he try to explain his point of view on that whole thing? Or do you guys kind of just realize, you know what, hey, we agree on a lot of stuff. This is one thing we don't agree on. Let's just move past it and talk about something else.
We have talked about it before in the past, and he's very respectful. He was asked directly about it by an interviewer for Mediaite, and he said, I respect the fact that my daughter speaks for a generation that I do not, which I think is a very, very respectful response to our political differences. Mm-hmm. But we don't fight about it or anything. I think people have sort of an image sometimes when you disagree with your parents that you go home and there's like brawling at Thanksgiving dinner table. But, when I go home, the last thing I want to talk about with my dad is politics, and I think that's the last thing he wants to talk about. Yeah. So we actually don't talk about it as much as you might think.
You just agree. You just are like, Obama sucks, high five, we can agree on that, let's move on to some stuffing and turkey.
Obama sucks, high five, take it in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is.
Just
that's pretty much, that is kind of how it is, actually. We go home. When you go home, you talk about politics all the time, and, he just wants to just be chill.
Yeah.
So I don't always bring it up unless it's really important.
What does he do to chill? I mean, that's interesting. Like, obviously, we see you, and you're young and fun and spunky, and, like, I can see you doing, anything, just like a normal young American. But your dad he's so iconic, and he's like a president almost, even though he's not the president. Like, what does he do when you're just home having fun? Like, what's his laid back? I mean, I can't even imagine him outside of a suit. Like, what does he do that's normal that would surprise us?
Oh, my gosh. He, first of all, his drink of choice is just straight vodka in a glass with ice.
I love it.
I mean, it's like really such a man drink, and he just likes to sit on the couch like I think the majority of men in this country and just watch football and eat pizza. And that is what he will do all weekend if he has the opportunity.
I love it. So totally just normal dude hanging out, drinking some vodka, watching football. I like it. And what do you think?
Sports. I mean, he watches so much sports all day, every day, over the weekend if he has the opportunity. That's all college, everything.
That's awesome. I love it. What does he think about? Have you asked him about the show? Has he watched the show? Does he like it, or is he too busy?
He's actually on the show. He's in the 6th episode. I go home and I interview him for the first time ever, and he's so supportive. He came to the premiere of the show, and he met the head of my network, and he met there's other shows that launched at the same time, and he met those cast members, and he has his press secretary DVR the show for him, and
that's good.
He's like ridiculously supportive to the point where sometimes I'm like, why you continue being so supportive when I'm so rowdy all the time?
Exactly. I'm causing all this trouble. Well, speaking of that, I want to know, what's the deal? Your dad here with this whole government shutdown. I don't know if you heard, but the government shutdown. Your dad...
did hear the government shutdown.
Yeah.
And there's something about that that's so scary, because it's like, what exactly does that mean? It's like the government shut down, nobody's going to work, and all these, these poor people that work for the government, they're out of jobs for God knows when. It's such a scary, imminent, dark thing. And just discussing it last night on Twitter when it was like, government shutdown, the government shutdown. I was like, red alert, what are we as the American people supposed to do now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, what I want to know is your dad wasn't for the shutdown. I mean, your dad was one of the conservatives, the Republicans, trying to say, hey, this isn't going to accomplish what you guys are trying to accomplish. He was against the shutdown, but yet somehow when it's shut down, even the correspondents are giving your dad crap, saying he's too old school and he's the problem with the Republican Party. I'm like, how do he can't win. He's not even for the shutdown, and somehow now he's getting blamed for the shutdown. Is it all your dad's fault? Is everything his fault?
This day in cable news, the 24-hour news cycle, I don't know any politician that can win. Even Obama, the media has sort of turned on him, and I don't know. I think it's really sad, and I think I do know that he was against the government shutting down because I don't understand who thinks this is a good idea at all. I agree with him, and I just think journalists need something to talk about, and they really need something to attack, and that's going to be my dad at the moment. I don't think he's the one completely responsible for it, but he's part of the government, so I guess he's a little responsible for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think we live in such depressing times right now of such partisanship. I don't know. For the first time in my life, I'm not as optimistic as I once was, and that's maybe just because I'm getting older, but I don't know. It's just so depressing.
You and me. We got to do this again sometime. Remember, Big J, Montana, we hate Obama. We love gay rights. We're on the same page. We can get together and have a good chat. Let's do it again. But everybody else needs to check out Raising McCain. It's on 197 on Dish Network, 267 on DirecTV. It's the network is called Pivot, and it's Saturdays, 8 o'clock here in Billings. So check out Raising McCain. Set it up on your DVR. And Meghan McCain, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And tell your dad hi, and that we give him a little...
You're so nice. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me.
Well, you better take time again if I'm that nice. Come on, Megan, let's be friends. Have a great morning.
No, you can tweet me. I promise I'll come on again if you really want.
We will. We do. Next time something's up, we'll talk. Thank you so much, Megan. Have a great day and much success with the show.
Thank you.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.